It's Rams training camp day one. There's some updates from Coach Sean McVay about Kyren Williams, Matthew Stafford, and the update that I personally have been waiting for is finally an update on Alaric Jackson, the Rams left tackle. But you know what? I'm gonna let McVay talk on that first. That's the first topic we're gonna cover in this video. This is the Rams Radar. Thanks for tuning on in. Feel free to like and subscribe. So Sean McVay on Rams left tackle Alaric Jackson, who's been experiencing blood clotting. A while ago we heard about this development after he signed his big contract with the Rams, and this we've been waiting for an update. This is the first update we've heard about this in a while.
For us to stack days. A couple things that I did want to be able to touch on before I open it up for questions with AJ Jackson. That's obviously been a unique situation. What I think's been great that we've been able to learn is we do have a plan in place that we're confident in, that most importantly he feels good about, that hopefully leads to him, being on the field for us. But we are going to take it a day at a time. He's not going to be on a PUP or NFI list.
Okay,
what
good.
He'll be able to do in the meantime is some individual drills with Reggie and his group. Some of that we'll do with coaches. Some of the jog throughs, the actual physical stuff he will not partake in right now. And we'll just take it a day at a time, with something of this nature. But I do feel good about the plan we have in place that, hopefully leads to him being able to go out there and compete with his teammates. And I know he is really feeling good.
Yeah.
He's handled this like a total stud. And I think the perspective that this stuff gives you, where, it's always about the human being first and foremost.
Yeah.
But he's got a lot of people that love him, that are with him on this journey. And we're excited to be able to just take it a day at a time with him.
On the AJ Jackson front, a.k.a. the Rams left tackle, a.k.a. the Great North Wall, I go back and forth. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a medical professional. I don't know that much about blood clotting. I've had some friends that have dealt with it, and I know it's complicated. It sounds like he is in the best possible position he could be in. Now, obviously, we want Sean McVay to come say it like, "Oh no, he's good. It's all good." But it's there's more layers to it than that. I want to respect his story and respect his space, so I want to try and keep it to the impact on the Rams team in this video. Alaric Jackson, absolutely hope he's doing well. Prayers up for him, and just the journey he's going on. It's encouraging that he's not going on the PUP list or putting on IR or anything like that. So this message from Sean McVay at least provides some optimism that he could play in the 2025 season. We don't know anything about the timeline other than they're taking it day to day. I have a feeling it's gonna, because there's no way Alaric Jackson was gonna play in a preseason game anyway. I wouldn't have seen that happen. This might be something that we keep waiting for updates on right up to the season, and that's the reality of the situation. From a football perspective, you don't want your left tackle sidelined all of training camp, but looks like that's kind of where he is. At least he's doing his own workout. They have a plan for him. There's comfort in the fact that AJ Jackson is a veteran. He's a class act on and off the field, and it sounds like he has surrounded himself with good people. So that's my thoughts on the AJ Jackson situation. There is a level of concern if he can't go. It looks like DJ Humphries would, I assume, be the left tackle for the Rams week 1. Would the Rams trade for someone? Maybe. I don't know of many teams that would want to trade a starting caliber left tackle because they're hard to find. But that's definitely a concern coming out of day one here of training camp. Less of a concern. They said Matthew Stafford has back soreness, and so he's not going to be involved in block 1 of the first week of training camp. But McVay did say later on the press conference that they're going to have him involved for block 2 of it. And I don't feel a need to talk in depth about this, Stafford is a veteran, quarterback. This is his 17th league year or 17th year in the NFL. I'm not too concerned about this. I'd be more concerned if they were putting him on, the pup list, or if he, if it was something beyond, back soreness, right? I think most people have back soreness, and I'm sure that Stafford, given the incredibly active lifestyle he has to live to be an NFL quarterback, this seems more preventative and just caring for the player and where they're at than anything else. I'm not too worried about that. The Kyren Williams contract extension talk, right? So this, let's hear from Kyren Williams here first, then I'll talk about this.
Just trying to keep up with your energy.
That's all. That's all you can though. You can just tap in.
So, what, you made the decision to be here despite contract negotiations. Just, I know you've been here participating during the offseason, but why is it important to you to be here?
And if you can't hear, because for whatever reason the Rams do not mic their their reporters, he's asking about Kyron's decision to be at training camp despite his contract situation.
For me, there was no decision. Like, I play football. That's what I do. That's what I love. And
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I do this not for the money, not for the fame or the popularity, but to take care of my family.
Yeah.
I got 3 sisters. I got a mom. I got a dad. I got 10 nieces and nephews that, I'm working hard for so that they can one day be able to say that they can go to college. They can come to a school like this, So for me, it's a lot bigger than the contract negotiations. Like, for me, it's putting my feet on the ground and continuing to get better and continuing to keep being who I am as a person, as a player, as an athlete, as a teammate, as a brother, as anybody, everything in my life. I'm trying to felicitate it to be the best that I can be. And so for me, being here right now is a no-brainer. Like I said, I got people that I got to take care of, and so putting my feet on the grass is the only way I know how to do that.
You will be practicing.
Yes.
You put the trust in the agents and to work with the team to get the deal done?
Yeah,
Most importantly, I put the trust in God. My agent, Drew Rosenhaus, is a great agent. I was able to be signed to him since my last year of college. So for me, I trust him. I trust in the plan. I trust in what the Lord is doing right now. And so there is nothing other than just going to work, keeping my head down, continuing to keep being the best teammate, the best player, the best just brother that I can be for each and every single guy on this team.
Has there been progress on the media?
Good answer.
Yeah, there's been progress. Yeah, there's definitely been progress from when we started in OTAs to where we're at now. And so I'm not sure. I don't know when it's going to get done. It's going to get done on God's timing. So for me right now, it's just to be present where my feet are at.
Oh, for those of you who remember, that's a Cooper Kupp kind of quote there.
Deal getting done with the Rams?
Yeah, I want to play for the Rams. That's who I want to be with. That's who I want to stay with, and I know it will work out.
Yeah.
If it's not done before the season opener, how?
Okay, so he has a reporter asking him if the contract is not done before the season, how will that impact him?
At all does that?
Doesn't change anything.
Okay.
I told you my one goal is to be able to keep putting on and keep taking care of the people that I love. And so if that's played out a contract or whatever it is, it's a blessing at the end of the day.
Yep.
I'm still playing football. I'm still a professional athlete. I'm still doing the things that as a kid I dreamt of doing. So negotiations, all that stuff, it's all going to work out. It's all part of a plan. It's all part of a bigger plan that I have no control of. Coach McVay doesn't even have control over it. Drew doesn't even have control over it. So it's just like, man, just keep on living in the life that that we have right now and stop worrying about things that you have no control over.
Sounds like you also feel responsible to your teammates, considering how good this team was last year and the potential that you guys have this year.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest part to me is like seeing the squad that we have. It's like, from top to bottom, from special teams, offense to defense, like we are stacked. We got people who know how to know what it is to be here as a Ram and play as a Ram. We got people who are like-minded, people that go to work, people that are playing for each other, not just for an individual. And so that's what I'm mostly excited about, bro, because we're able to get back here and I feel like I'm in my 4th year, so I feel like I got a kind of a bird's eye view kind of. I know what to expect, and so like I'm even more excited because I know the potential of this team and how far.
I'm going to pause there. Feel free to go check out the full press conference here. I just want to say, Kyren Williams, everyone, good head on his shoulders. He's got his priorities, straight. And I wish him all the best in the contract negotiation. I know it's tough being a running back nowadays in the NFL. I've heard online that he'll probably get Josh Jacobs kind of money. I don't actually know. If I were to speculate, I'm guessing guaranteed money and how long the length of the contract is probably what what the holdup is, right? The discrepancy of that. Like I have faith that the market value, the Rams are a smart enough organization, and Kyren has a smart enough agent in Rosenfeld to negotiate kind of what that money is. Where the guaranteed money is, that's maybe the question mark, and the length of it. The Rams might want it to be a little bit shorter, where Kyren, looking for security for his family and his future, would want to be a little bit longer, right? And you saw the passion there. He wants to be a Ram. He's a good Ram. He was the Rams Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee in 2024, right? I I've seen people, get frustrated with Kyren and the lack of big explosive plays or the fumbles, but I don't think anyone can question that, like, him as a, like, with the intangibles, he knows what it's about, right? He has the Rams culture. He is a good example of the Rams culture and what they can be at their best. And he's still a young player, right? Like, he's 24 years young. I really think Kyren Williams has what it takes to get to that next level in his career and be, a top 5 running back in the NFL. I I I keep going back. He knows what happened in that game against the Eagles in the playoffs, and I believe he has been working every day. He's been working. He looks good. He looks good. He looks ready to go and score some touchdowns. In the press conference, he joked about lining up in the slot. Who knows if we see that? But I like Kyren Williams as the Rams' lead running back, and I'm excited to see him, you know, week 1 against the Texans. And I am also excited to see, what the Rams have in Jaquez Hunter, and also Blake Corum as well. So anyway, that's going to do it for me in this video, and just a couple of updates there. Again, things to watch, developing stories, but football's back. I was, talking with some Rams showcase and Rams house the other day, and we said, this is really the first day of the NFL season, right? When training camp starts, and you start getting news about players, and you start learning, like, who's leading in snaps and who's winning the position battles and things like that. You get the injury reports consistently. So NFL is back, baby. Anyway, as always, go Rams, horns up, and peace out. Let's go Rams. Feel free to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, especially if you like talking Rams and football. We're going to have lots of fun this NFL season. Feel free to be part of the Rams radar.